I'm Richard Kaufman alongside Jim Laugerson. Jim, great day yesterday. We had some thrillers, didn't we, in our first session? A bit of drama late on, of course, Janne Jorgensen's injury, but today we should have a terrific setup, and this is how they've got here.
And this is going to be a great start. This is two pairs I think will really match up well against each other, so it should be really exciting.
It was a case of both having long matches yesterday. As you can see, 3 gamers, both of them 3 setters, both on court for around an hour. We shall see what that takes out of them. Sung-hyun and Hyun-Shin Baek Choel, the Korean pair first out on court, followed by Hoon Thien and Kiong. Just one place between them in the world rankings. Should be an interesting clash. Of course, like all the Malaysian men doubles pairs here this week, it's their last outing together. Are they going to bow out with a medal? Because the prospect today, Jim, isn't it, is win today, you get yourself at least a bronze medal.
Yeah.
It's a big incentive.
It is.
So the players, as they will do ahead of all their matches here on this court number 1. We're down to 2 courts now in the BWF Super Arena. So there will be matches going on the second court aside, and we'll keep you up to date with any big news from there as well. But this is our first match between the number 12 and the number 7 seeds. Ko and Shin up against Hoon and Thien. Well, here's the Korean pair, 2 close friends, but have only really got together as far as the international scene's concerned in the last 10 months, and they're working their way up the world rankings, number 10 in the world now. First event together actually was here in Denmark last October, made their first final at the Korean Open Grand Prix Gold, and this is how they got there. Knocked out the number 4 seeds yesterday, Hiroki Endo and Kenichi Hayakawa, 23, 21, 21, 17. First 2 rounds, they came through in straight games as well against pairs from the Czech Republic and Australia, so they've played very impressively so far. It's been far harder work for Hoon Thien and Kiong, and confirmation of that is they played 1 round less, but they played as many games. World rank number 9 now, 7th is seeded here. Marathon match, 58 minutes in round 2, 1 hour 2 minutes on court in round 3. So it's been a struggle for them so far. Over on our left-hand side, in the chair up on high, Radomir Brezhny, just about to announce the players onto court, and they can see the back of his head there. Henrik Boas of Switzerland is our service judge. They have met before, and on the head-to-head, you'd have to say it's the Malaysians who will be favourites. They've won 2 out of 2. Both in the last 10 months. Their last meeting was at the German Open in February. It went all the way, 22-20 in the final game, just under an hour. And their other meeting, yep, you guessed it, also a 3-setter when they met in the China Open in November. 21-18 in the final set. That took just over an hour. So bear in mind, they've had 2 matches, the Malaysians. Both have been around the hour mark as well. Could be a test of endurance.
Definitely, and especially because I think this arena suits Ko and Shin quite well. I don't think we will see so much service situation in this game as we normally do, and that's why I would say the Malaysian pair is better. But we've seen yesterday that the Koreans can get out of it quite easy.
Hoon Thien, Kiong, Malaysia. And on my left, Ko Sung-hyun, Hyun-Shin Baek Choel, Korea. Hyun-Shin Baek Choel to serve. To Tan Kiong. Love all. Play.
Well, day 5 of the BWF Badminton World Championships underway. Medals up for grabs for today's winners. Guaranteed a bronze.
Service over. 1. Love.
Yeah, the last Malaysian men's doubles pair standing. Tan and Koo had a thriller yesterday in 3 sets as well. They lost 21-19, and Go Vi-shin had to go off injured in the middle of his match alongside Lim Ki-hwa.
Service over. 1-all.
But they've decided to shake up after these Commonwealth Games. Go Vi-shin and Tan Kiong combining well to win gold at the Commonwealth Games. They are going to be playing together at the Asian Games. And Hoon Thien will now team up with Tan Byung Hong. But for now, they've got plenty still to go for here over what possibly is the next few days here in Copenhagen.
Yeah, and they can't really be thinking of that now. About new pairings, it's more or less what's happening here. But we already see here in the start that where normally the Korean pair would have, you know, in a different arena where there's a little bit more drift and it's difficult to play around where it would be more flat and stuff like that. They have not easy, but it's easier for them to get out of that situation. We saw that again yesterday against Endo and Hayakawa, which normally also very good in that situation. They really easily got out of it. And when it comes to defending and playing long rallies, Hyun-Shin is having a good time though.
And we should say it's a lot cooler in the arena right now. I think it'll get hotter as the day goes on. First of all, it's an earlier start.
Yeah.
Second of all, there's air conditioning units that are down a level from where we are, sort of halfway in between the level of the court and our commentary position up high. They're not blowing in towards the arena, they're blowing out towards the sides. It's just cooled it down a bit. I assume it's going to get hotter as the day goes on.
It will be hotter, and I also think they might have turned them off now when the game starts, because we don't want it, because just that would change the whole environment. So but it's from a personal point of view, it feels much better today.
Yeah. We're not roasting right now. Interesting seeing this partnership together. I mean, you had a few men's doubles partners in your time, but these are good friends. And it's taken a while for them to play together internationally. They played together domestically prior to Denmark last year, but it kind of, once Ko left Lee Yong-dae and that partnership split up, this seemed a natural progression, didn't it, for the Korean team?
And I think Ko has, you know, actually improved a little bit. First of all, he's improved by playing with Lee Yong-dae, because he probably learned a lot of things from him. But you could just see that the pressure that was on him to take over from Lee Yong-dae's last partner was too much.
Well, they got to #1 in the world, but obviously they had
but we're talking Korean standard and men's doubles, and we're talking Olympic gold medal, World Championship gold medals. We're not talking about just being but being #1 in the world. We're talking about that they needed to go and get that gold, and they didn't.
Yeah, they've lost in the second round in the World Championships. He went and got another racket there, and they ended up winning the point.
Fantastic.
Disappointment for Shin, but have a look at that. Oh, we'll get another one. You carry on. Okay, I'm back with you again now.
Yeah, he was going for it, Shin. He got confused.
Well, not only that, that's not unusual to see that, because once a player goes off like that, suddenly Shin's like, where's he going? And his eye's not on the shuttle anymore.
No, exactly. He lost focus there.
Yeah.
But you can see, if you see there on the left, you can see the rackets are ready. Players are ready for if this happens, because it happens quite a lot. I was just never that quick to get one, so. But I think the big thing for Ko is, after playing with Lee Yong-dae, is that he's now in charge of this partnership, and that I think he has grown with that. I still think he has some of the same weaknesses he had with Lee Yong-dae, and that is around the service situation, when he really played the players who are good in the service situation on the third shot, game, if you can call it that, then he's too predictable. A good comeback here by the Malaysians.
5-7.
You know, yesterday there was a feeling of inevitability about certain matches. There we go, the distance of. I kind of feel the same with this one. I think you'd make the Koreans' favourite given the conditions, and then you look at the heads-to-heads, and you know the Malaysians have come out on top. It's kind of the mixture's there for another long match, isn't it?
There is,
really?
but I have the Koreans. And
8-5.
some people are looking weird at me when I said. I even said it before they played Endo and Hayakawa. I just feel when I saw the draw come out, I just have this feeling. I've seen Koreans before playing Denmark. They seem to like to be playing here. We all know that from all sports at certain venues or arenas or certain places, there are some people who like to play, and Korea seem to in men's doubles like to play in Denmark because we have arenas and halls here with not that much drift, and that means that they come into their favorite play. But I must say here the Thien and Hoon is really starting to warm up here, because they're really reading the shuttle well at the minute.
Hoon coming across nicely at the net there, picking off the winner.
Service over. 9-7.
Pity from a Malaysian perspective, it's well short, but
Good. Great shot by Ko. If you can see that is slow, there. You can see he turns his racket, so he's showing he's going straight on it, but he turns his racket so while he's hitting straight on it, it goes cross, and Hoon just simply couldn't see where it was coming. That was a great rally here. Another one. Oh, and he tried it against Shin, tried the same thing, but this time wide. See again, look how he turns his racket at the last end here. Not there, this one that comes now. There, he just turns his racket a little bit to the side, but this time it was too much. And that's what Ko and Shin needs to be careful of. They need to be very disciplined in their attack, because Thien and Hoon they're so good in defense that they can't really afford to make a shot like this, then they will be punished. Well played on him.
10-0. Service over.
Well, it's been tight, hasn't it?
Yeah,
very tight start, but well, slight edge, you have to say, given the scoreline to the Koreans, and they have led for most of the game as well. Thien just putting it wide, so the Malaysians trail, but the scoreline as tight as it can be, 11 points to 10.
This is an interesting situation. We have two coaches who talked individually to each player.
Let's hope they're saying the same thing.
I hope they're on the same page. So let's hope that they don't. One of them is not saying defense and the other one offense. Then we're gonna have a funny situation.
You know, look at these two here. Obviously, they've played together. You know, from being reserves in the Malaysian team to the #1 pair in a couple of years.
11-10.
Then they're split up, and then they get brought together for one last hurrah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever been in a situation like that?
No.
Service fault goal.
It's got to be kind of weird, hasn't it? Knowing that this is not where your future lies for sure, and you've just had some great success with someone else.
It must be very weird. I simply don't understand. Well, I understand the thing is that they have qualified, and of course they're still a very, very good pair. So, but they should have thought about this a long time ago, and then maybe already there started to work in the new relationships.
I suppose though the thinking is Rio 2016, and there's still 2 years to go to that, isn't there?
Yeah. Service over. 12-0.
Both Korean players have won medals at World Championships. Shin in the mixed doubles last year in Guangzhou, won bronze. Ko is silver medalist in 2011 alongside Yu Yeong-seong.
Fantastic.
And they were like a coiled spring, the pair of them there waiting for that shuttle, weren't they?
Yeah.
13-0.
And both waiting, bang, straight in.
You can say the one thing with in Malaysia properly also made them think about shaking the whole thing around is that Kiong decided to retire. So of course you have 10 in there who needs a partner. So.
Well, Ko here saying it's the old one, isn't it? We see this a lot.
Yeah.
Player's not ready. Server gets frustrated, wants to get on with it. Actually got a bit fiery yesterday in the Malaysian match, by the way.
Yeah.
And a bit of racket throwing. Not against the opposition. It was the line calls they weren't happy with.
Yeah.
And line judge kept getting it wrong.
14-13.
It was Hoon Thien that threw his racket down in anger.
Oh, what a save. Look at both pairs here.
He likes a dive code, doesn't he?
Yeah. Great defense again. Simon. Oh, that was going wide.
Really, but you're right, their defense is superb.
And I think what I've seen the weaknesses sometimes in Hoon and Thien's game is that when people can force Hoon, who's not the most movable guy, on the backcourt and keep him down there, but he is extremely good at covering things when he comes forward. And then they have 10 on the back working hard. So if the Korean pair can keep him on the back, then they will, they can have an advantage there. Well, that's easier said than done.
It's 14-0, and there's no doubt about it. The Koreans look like the ones who are trying to take the initiative here. They look like they're on top, but the reality is they're not, are they?
Not at all.
15,
not at all.
14.
And in doubles nowadays, with the system they play, you see, we in the beginning we had much longer rallies. Now it's getting tight. Now things are different. Oh, well played. Good coverage by Ko. And I really like when he's on top of his game. He's
16, 14.
Moves so quick, and he's so, explosive.
Yeah.
And hits hard, and he's got, I think he has so many good things. And in Denmark, they've always said for the Danish players in mixed double, he's one of the worst players to play against because he simply gets everything back. He's so quick and he hits hard. But in the men's double, his weaknesses have always been the service situation, where I think It's kind of easy to read.
55143 and registration number.
Service over.
Good aggressive play from Tan here.
Thank you.
Eventually wearing down the defences of Shin.
Well, it's hardly surprising the score is this close. And with the way they both are playing, it's amazing.
Go! 16-0.
It's gone wide.
Service over. 17-16.
I think they're talking about challenge.
Bit
But
late
it's
now.
too late. But I would have taken a challenge there, wouldn't you?
Malaysia. Play.
I always think it's worth a challenge, really. Now what's
Too
happening?
late.
Yeah. He was asking
Okay.
about a challenge. It's too late.
Next time, okay.
So they really wanted to take a challenge. So, and I would have taken that one. That's a crucial moment, eh?
Especially given. We'll see how important it is. It'd be nice to know what the decision actually was.
Yeah.
Service over. 17-0.
Well, I'm hearing from Hawkeye actually that it would have been in anyway.
It would have been in.
Yeah.
So they should have taken the challenge. Well, it's a new thing for them. They have to be, you have to think a little bit faster.
I suppose when it's easier in singles in a way because you go, right, it's my decision. When you're in doubles, you can understand maybe a little bit of dithering.
Yeah. But you'll have to live by if your partner takes the challenge, you have to trust that he feels that
18-17.
But I'm just saying it's still so new that we have to remember these players. As I said, me having played since I was 5, there's still some shots that I think is in or out that I would have called totally different. So they also have to get used that what they maybe think is out, well, that has a chance of being in.
17.
So, but here, good defense by the Koreans.
Well, they've suddenly given themselves a real shot at taking this opening game, Ko and Shin.
And this is the position they want the Malaysians to be in, where Hoon is at the back. And of course, Tan knows that. So he's looking for that cross court to Hoon at the back corner. And look how he reads that one.
18,
Look, he's already looking for that.
19.
Fantastic. What a display by the Malaysian player there. Very active. And he's, you can say, he's the most active player around on the full court on the Malaysian side, where Hoon is more the net player that wants to come forward. Well played by the Korean pair.
Yeah,
Really building that one up.
means they have gained points.
Look at Shin pushing forward. He knows from there one
18.
the Malaysian would try to block to the net. He's already up there. Great example how men's double should be played. Fantastic.
Well, impressive, wasn't it, from Sung-hyun and Shin Baek Choel?
First game won by Sung-hyun, Hyun-Shin Baek Choel.
You can just see at the end here that the Koreans are just stronger. They're faster. And you know, this is actually right there. That kind of game suits the Malaysian players, but in this environment here, in this arena, they're just not strong enough for it. So they need to get out of it, but a little bit smarter, you know, maybe playing some soft shots and finding the front court and service situation-wise make that more difficult. If they're just rallying with pace, they will lose.
Well, their 2 victories have come in 3 games, and if they are to win this one, the Malaysian pair, it's going to have to be in 3 games again, because these 2 are set to the good. 21 points to 18.
Ready? Okay. Second game. Love all. Play. One. Love. Service over. 1-0. Service over. 2-1. Service over. 2-0. Three, 2. Call. Pass the shuttle immediately, okay? Thank you. Oh! 4-2. Service over. 3-4. Done.
So once again, a very even start. You do though sense, do you, watching this match, that
5-4.
that the Koreans, as I said, even when it was 15-0 in the second game. They were the ones that seemed to be the better pair.
Yeah. As it looks like right now, it is like they are finding the ways to win the points, and the Malaysian player has to win on a shot like this, you know, more where they are kind of guessing where it is, which they are really good at.
Yeah.
But in the playing, if the rallies are going, it's the Koreans who comes out on top. So for the Malaysian pair right now, it's about making this an uncomfortable game for the Koreans, if you can say it like that.
Well, listen, this is a good Malaysian pair. They, you know,
fantastic.
Been ranked in the top 10 of the world. They got to the quarterfinals. They all in England last couple of years. Won their first international title towards the end of last year in Macau. But obviously their races run as a pair after these championships. Is this to be their final game together?
Service over. 5-7.
Yeah, there's a lot of walking around right now for both pairs. The umpire needs to speed up the game a little bit.
Service over. 8-5.
And how about that for a leave as well at the end of it all? Because when you're in that kind of rhythm, it's just so easy just to keep hitting the shuttle. But he just knew when the time was right, even from his angle, when the time was to leave it. I suppose that's why you practice so long on the training course.
11-5, interval.
So this time at the interval, it's not tight, is it? You have to say Hyun-Shin have established a terrific lead, having seen off Hoon Thien in that first game 21-18. They're now 11-5 up in the second.
They're moving much better, and especially Hoon is having really big troubles following. They're using him, hitting hard on him, then coming in with the block shot, then hitting hard and block shot again, and that's not his favorite thing. He likes people to keep hitting on him so he can come in and create something. So, but again, it comes up to this service situation where we can see Hyun-Shin today. They're not afraid of just if they can't really do anything on that first shot, they just use the back hold.
Five. Boy. 4. Service over. 6-11. Service over. 12-6. 13-6.
I have to say, I've called a few right this week. I think I got this one wrong. I don't think it's going to be that 3-game. Well, that's more like maybe a bit of that, and we might.
Yeah. But it's difficult for them because this is the first time really they get into that attacking position.
Yeah.
The Korean pair's just been too good.
You know, they're seeded to go this far, this pair, but I suppose when you then see the number 4 seeds are knocked out, Endo and Hayakawa, you think, oh, you know, maybe a chance to bow out here together with a medal,
but they're up against a very good pair today.
Yeah.
And, a pair that likes playing here.
15-7.
Wasn't short this time, was it?
No, it's a perfect serve.
Oh, wow. I don't think anyone expected that one from Shin, but nice gap to play with. Still a 7-point lead.
8-15.
Only won 4 of the last 13 points, even with that one, the Malaysians. And another one this time by Ko.
That's a big one.
9-15.
The Malaysian pair really needed that one. And it wasn't because they played particularly well, but they got a little bit of an extra life on that one.
Service over. 16-9.
That's a great shot. That's a great shot from Ko, and we've seen that a few times. I saw it a few times yesterday as well, and he hits it so hard. And therefore the Malaysians has to go further back in the defense, but then he kind of, you know, cuts into the shuttle and makes it this guy's shot. Amazing to watch.
That's great skill, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic kills. Very difficult shot.
Service over. 10-17. No, just play.
I've never seen that before. I wasn't allowed to test this racket. That's quite normal. You have been allowed to do that.
Umpire said, let's just play. I think 17-10 up. I think comfortable enough just to do that.
Oh, what a defense by the Koreans.
Well, it's almost like the game is taking the shape of the way you thought it should in that first game. It didn't. It was closer, but in this second game, the kind of attacking class is telling.
That's a beauty. Well played by him, and good tactic by Tannis there. But maybe it's too late now. He's realized that hitting hard on everything, hitting hard on everything is not going to work. These Koreans are just too good in defense, so he kind of uses a soft smash instead.
Eleven, 18. Twelve, 18.
A little comeback here from Malaysia.
Service over. 19, 12. Service over. 13, 19.
Well, the winner of this match meets another Korean pair in the Kims, Kim Ki-jung, Kim Sa-rang, the number 5 seeds, or the number 11 seeds from Indonesia, Angga Pratama and Ryan Agung Saputra.
I think we could get a
Korean affair, yeah.
Kim and Kim is looking really good as well. And as I say, Korean doubles pairs are
Service over.
feeling having a good time in Denmark. Last
13.
time in '99, I think it was Korean victory as well. So this wouldn't be unusual for them.
Yeah, you'd almost expect 3 Korean pairs into the semi-finals, wouldn't you? Well, there's one definitely through to the semi-finals, and that's Hyun-Shin, because they've polished this one off pretty quickly, you have to say. Fairly comfortable too. Kiong and Hoon Thien really didn't have the answers, did they? Sung-hyun and Hyun-Shin Baek Choel with a 21-18, 21-13 victory.
Sung-hyun, Shin Baek Choel, 21-18, 21-13.
There's confirmation there from our umpire. And it'll be disappointing. It's the last we'll see together of the Malaysian pair. Off to play with their new partners. Asian Games coming up for them, and obviously the road to Rio will start for them, but there's no doubt about it. Hyun-Shin, amongst what is, I suppose you could say, a possible Korean domination in this men's doubles. They are through in straight games.